Hey there, hope all is well. Back at you today with some more RTD news updates. In today's articles, we're going to deal with what's happening in India with the demonetization of the $500 and $1,000 rupee note. And as always, if you enjoyed today's articles, feel free to share them with family and friends to help them become more monetarily aware on events surrounding them. And also, if you're new to Rethinking a Dollar, click the subscribe button for more RTD news updates as well as interviews. Let's get into today's articles. So today is November 9th, and beyond the obvious of the fact that Donald Trump has been elected as the 45th president of the United States, on the monetary front, outside the United States, there's still things happening. And here is one story that I think is very applicable to what was attempted to happen here with the whole removal of the $100 note and the whole cashless society push, which I still believe will be in play in the days ahead. But here we have an article, India withdraws 500 and 1,000 rupee notes in effort to fight corruption. Next article from BBC is India scraps 500 rupee banknote overnight. And the last article here is from the Hindu, and it says demonetization of the Rupee 500 and $1,000 notes. And the Bank of India, Reserve Bank of India, explains why. And so before we actually get into that, I want to give you a little timeline and history of the Indian rupee and how it all came to be for the most part. And this is from Wikipedia here, and it says the Indian rupee is the official currency of the Republic of India. The rupee is subdivided into 100 paise, though as of 2011, only 50 paise coins are legal tender. The issuance of the currency is controlled by the Reserve Bank of India. The Reserve Bank manages currency in India and derives its role in currency management on the basis of the Reserve Bank of India Act in 1934. The rupee is named after the silver coin, rupiah, first issued by Sultan Sher Shah Suri in the 16th century and later continued by the Mongol Empire. In 2011, a new symbol, which is the new R and some slashes on top, was officially adopted. It was derived from the combination of the Devanagari consonant and the Latin capital letter R without its vertical bar. The parallel lines at the top with this white space between are said to make an allusion to the tricolor Indian flag. The first series of coins with the new rupee symbol started in the circulation on 8 July 2011. And then just scroll down below. It's interesting how as you go through history, you see all these silver coins here, silver, 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 silver. And if you know the monetary history of India, they were predominantly a silver nation on a silver standard for the longest time until, of course, the whole Indian, the Reserve Bank came into play and they went on to notes, similar to what we're on now. But anyway, just give you an idea. Here's the currency, what's it look like. And so basically it's 1,000 and 500 are being removed. And so we'll get into that right now. Here's the Guardian. The India withdraws 500,000 rupee notes in effort to fight corruption. Says Prime Minister says country's highest value banknotes will be taken out of circulation as part of a clampdown on black money. And so here it goes into more of what's going on here. It says India Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced that the 500 and 1,000 rupee notes are to be taken out of circulation in a move expected to plunge the country's economy into chaos. In a surprise televised address on Tuesday night, so basically, within the last couple of hours, Modi said that the demonetization of the highest India's value banknotes worth about £6 and £12 would start from midnight. The move is an effort to close down the booming economy of untaxed cash transactions, which allows corruption, the funding of terrorist groups, and keeps currency notes in circulation. So right there, here's the whole spiel of why he's doing what he's doing, because it allows corruption, it's the funding of terrorist groups, and it keeps counterfeit notes in circulation. And so that's just a whole spiel that makes it a thumbs up for the government to say, hey, overnight we're just going to remove these from your hands. And not mentioning that the fact is those notes, by them being the highest denomination notes, are probably the biggest saving mechanism for most citizens there, as opposed to holding those 50s, 10s, and things like that, which just basically takes up a lot of space and, pretty much, don't buy much, I'm sure. And then it also talks about how most transactions are done with the 500 and 1,000 rupee notes, just because those are the highest forms of currency that most people exchange hands with. So addressing the nation, Modi said the exchange of 500 and 1,000 rupee notes being tendered as currency will be stopped from today. So no warning, no heads up, no, next week, 2 weeks from now, we're going to remove them. He said as of today, black marketeers and traders who use black money will not be able to move large amounts of money, and 500 and 1,000 rupee notes will become worthless pieces of paper. Those citizens earning honestly and will work and with hard work, their interests will be protected. So black marketeers is how it's being promoted. Those who do, illegal activity. And then he's saying that after today, the 500 and 1,000 rupee note will become worthless pieces of paper. So that basically means that they're only getting their value because of the government saying that they're legal tender, and is what they allow the people to use as a medium of exchange. And in actuality, they have no real value whatsoever, other than what the government has decreed as being worth something. So it's just easy to say that the government giveth, or the Federal Reserve, not Federal Reserve, but the Reserve Bank of India giveth, and they taketh away, just like that, by decree. It says those citizens who earn honestly and with hard work, their interests will be protected. So basically, if you're not involved in any illegal activity, you'll be fine. Modi expressed that citizens who have 500 and 1,000 rupee notes need not panic, as cash could be deposited at banks or post offices until the end of 2016. He said, these steps are a part of our battle against corruption, black money, and counterfeit notes. The ordinary citizen who is struggling will be strengthened. There is no need for you to rush to the bank tomorrow. You have 50 days. Modi's announcement is controversial in India, where a huge parallel economy accounts for 20% of GDP and operates with near impunity. The move will anger corrupt politicians, including Modi's own Bharatiya Janata Party, who accept cash bribes. Banks and ATMs will be closed on Wednesday. High value notes would still be accepted in hospitals or in case of emergency situation until the next to the new year, the prime minister said. So here, that's just their way of saying, hey, we're going to stop counterfeit and crime and things like that. We're going to remove them. And within 24 hours, they're gone. They will no longer be legal tender. So interesting. Articles below if you want to read more about it. Here's an article here from BBC News. India scraps 500 and 1,000 rupee banknote. And it's pretty much says a lot of the same things as part of the other message. But yet here's something interesting, because it's an actual live video footage from here with a great perspective on what's happening.
This is a queue outside an ATM here in Mumbai, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing scenes like this across the country tonight after the government's surprise announcement that these two notes will no longer be considered valid. So this is a 500 rupee note, that's roughly around $7.50. This is a 1,000 rupee note, that's roughly around $15. And just to give you an example of how frequently these currency notes are used while transacting here in India, if I were to take a taxi from here across town, it would probably cost me around 300 to 400 rupees. And so this note is probably the one that I would be using to pay the taxi driver, and it's no longer valid.
As luck would have it, I only seem to have 1,000 and 500 rupee notes in my wallet. So since tomorrow and day after the banks are shut, I need 100 rupee notes to get by, with people like commuting and, random change when you need things.
It's a very good move, but we just have got a very short notice, I feel, to, come and go and deposit your cash and get the 100 rupees back.
The government will start releasing new currency notes from Thursday. The motive behind the move is to crack down on unaccounted for cash and fake currency notes. India is still largely a cash economy. A lot of the transactions here still happen in cash, and that's what makes it very hard for the government to track down tax evaders. But this is perhaps the biggest move we've ever seen, the most dramatic move we've ever seen a government make in the direction of trying to get this unaccounted for cash declared.
So there you have a quick explanation from people actually there, and how one person was, saying it's a good move. The other person said it's pretty much inconvenient to have to turn in your notes and then get smaller notes, which means you got to carry more paper in your pocket. And then here's a quick little ad type of thing where it has the president here, and it gives, here's what you can do. And so it basically walks you through how to get rid of your old notes in exchange for the new notes. So major inconvenience, and definitely it's a bold move to do it within 24 hours. So articles below if you're interested in hearing it. And then the next article here, the last article, is from the the Hindu.com, and it's the demonetization of the 500,000 rupee note. And just to give you an idea of what this article is about here, is actually kind of explained from the RBI, or the bank itself, and it gives you a little time frame here. It says in his first televised address to the nation, Mr. Modi said people holding notes of 500,000 can deposit the same in their bank and post office accounts November 10th till December 30th. And then the latest updates. Tomorrow, banks will be closed for withdrawing these notes from counters. And ATM says, who I'm not sure I pronounced that. Then 9:45, we will work around the clock to ensure the customers have a smooth experience, says the SBI chairman. We will strive to restock ATMs at the earliest and make them operational. At 9:40, we have just now been advised to the government's move to demonetize current series of 1,000. So they kind of saying it's all happened all of a sudden, even for the bank itself. And so, as I conclude here, I want to leave a little thought with you. And so you know how the whole rethinking the dollar concept focuses on the Federal Reserve note and the idea that over the last 100 years, the paper has become, pretty much worthless as well, to the point where there's a big push, or there has been a small push that will eventually grow, of removing the $100 bill from circulation, kind of for the same excuses that the government is using here, whether it be counterfeit, whether it be corruption, money laundering / tax evasion, all those typical things that governments try to portray as the main reason why. But ultimately, it has the idea of just basically being able to control the population, control the citizens, and minimize their liberty, and having actual tangible money as their own physical property in their hands. So the less property they have of their own, the more in control the government will be, because they'll be able to say, hey, you can only use this type of currency, and if it's only digits, then you're really stuck, because everything will be on a computer screen. So just my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how this whole rupee demonetization of the $500 and $1,000 notes, what your thoughts are, and as well, do you think this is something that can happen with the $100 note here in the United States in the days ahead? So other than that, hope all is well. Enjoy your day. Look forward to bringing you more news updates.